Good morning, Paul. It's Wednesday, the 15th of March. Here's the heads up brief for today. For the Southeast Asia production, we covered 21 issues. In North Asia, we covered 4. And for the Australasia and Pacific Islands, we covered 9. In South Asia, we covered 17 issues, plus the major issues in the Europe, Middle East, and Africa regions.
Okay, great. Thanks. Go ahead.
Paul, in Papua New Guinea, authorities are trying to rescue 5 hostages in Enga. It looks to be connected to the tribal fighting around the Porgera mine site.
Okay, great. Just keep a close eye on that. Task someone to follow it up a couple of 2 or 3 times a day. I'd like any more new info. WhatsApp to me, please.
Sure, will do. Also in Papua New Guinea, a local is suing ExxonMobil for breaching the Oil and Gas Act of 1998, the PNG LNG agreement, and the National Content Plan. This is over Exxon not allowing his waste management firm to renew a contract with a fair bid.
Okay, be interested to know who that guy is, how powerful he is in terms of being a member of the landowner council or landowner associations. So we just need to dig in a little bit more and just have someone brief me on that way of a message direct, please.
Sure, will do, Paul. In Indonesia, the National Agency for Combating Terrorism said that one of the parties that was intending to participate in the 2024 elections has ties with terror groups. It's not been allowed to register, and its name wasn't specified, but there's the possibility that members of the Jemaah Islamiyah have links to this party.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you. I'll keep an eye on that myself.
Right. In Myanmar and Mandalay, the Tang National Liberation Army arrested 30 gold miners for non-payment for mining activities in the area.
Now, does that mean gold miners companies or gold miners individual? We need to specify that, because if it's actual companies, it's a lot more significant than if it's 30 individuals.
Right. We'll look into that, Paul. In Thailand,
Thank you.
In Thailand, a police inspector from the Special Branch's Intelligence Unit opened fire in a residential building in Bangkok district yesterday. This is apparently over a personal grievance or some mental health issues. He's been involved in a long standoff with security forces who have cordoned off the area.
Well, that's a particular concern given the situation up there too long ago, where there were, I think, 16 odd fatalities for another security force member with mental health issues running rampant because he'd been dismissed because of drug use. I can't remember, was he a police or a military guy that in the last
Yes.
major event?
Yes.
Which one was he, police or military?
I believe he was military. Military, I believe.
Okay. Verify that with me.
Yeah.
Was there any injuries or deaths in the incident yesterday?
No, Paul.
Well, thankfully, he's not a good shot. Okay, thank you.
Right. Also in Thailand, 2 senior members of the Democrat Party are going to move to the United Thai Nation Party, and members of the ruling Palang Pracharat Party are going to return to the Phua Thai opposition party.
Okay, so this is very interesting. Of course, the United Thai Nation Party is that of current Prime Minister Prayut, and the fact that a couple of people are defecting from the existing main party that Prayut's just left, which is now in control of Prawit, and heading back to Phua Thai Party, which is the land of all things controlled by Thaksin, means that we may be seeing a slow dissolvement or the less power in Palang Pracharat Party. It looks like once Prawit decided to show disloyalty, he's elevated himself into the position of number 1, and a lot of guys that are number 2s love to niggle and claim how much easier it would be. He may now be experiencing that he isn't as good and in a leadership role and as influential as he thought. It seems to be an exodus. And when Prayut decides to go and fundamentally head up a new party, Prawit's got a lot more coming his way than he probably is smart enough to realise, especially with a strategic mastermind like Prayut, and not only a strategic mastermind in anyone's language, but one that's been asked to do the role by the royal family and been trusted for so long. Prawit's values may have overtaken his brain. Okay, very interesting. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Moving over to South Asia, where unrest broke out across Pakistan yesterday, including in Islamabad, Lahore, Karachi, Peshawar, and Rawalpindi. Security forces tried to arrest Imran Khan in Lahore, but his supporters once again blocked them and they were unsuccessful.
You can't help but think the pressure cooker's being held down very heavily on top, but at some point it looks like Pakistan's going to blow, and I think we need to elevate our scenario to assume that all kinds of security measures, drastic ones, may need to be in place for our clients, including internal relocations and possible evacuation planning. So I think we need to send out a formal letter to all of our clients to start ensuring that they have got detailed internal relocation plans, move to safe havens, and all the various options that we have planned there, because they may not realise how much the pressure is building in Pakistan. Thank you.
Right. Also in Pakistan, to add to your point, Paul, the Pakistani armies told the election commission that it's unable to provide security for the upcoming elections due to the security situation and economic issues. They said that they can only provide quick response or reactive forces.
And that's fair enough too, because it's a hell of a big country, and the amount of issues and problems politicians create, it's beyond any military to actually control that. They're being wise there. Is the military more likely to remain loyal to the existing government or to Imran Khan?
The military was one of the key players in Imran Khan's ousting last year. Imran Khan fell out of favor with them and he has criticized them over the past 2 years. So they don't want Imran Khan back.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Moving over to Sri Lanka, Paul, the government over there is increasingly adopting the narrative that the local protests and strikes over economic issues are being controlled by international actors, and that is foreign funded.
Well, how convenient, especially when the foreigners have been propping your economy up for as long as I can recall, and they've just cut you an incredible deal to save your incompetent management. The level of governance in Sri Lanka, and both historically but particularly now, is such that the elites that are managing the country only for their own wealth and their own greed at some point have to blame somebody, which is at all points, and at some point the lid's going to come off Sri Lanka as well. So let's put it also on the hot watch closely list, okay?
Yep, sure, we'll do, Paul. Lastly, in the Europe, Middle East, and Africa regions, yesterday, a U.S. spy drone crashed in the Black Sea in international waters. The U.S. said it was hit by a Russian jet, but Moscow denied reports of a collision.
Okay, America, interestingly, was very quick to pick up on Chinese balloons, but drones flying around EMEA is a hell of a long way from Washington, D.C. Ultimately, the US loves to stand on its soapbox and pretend it's the angel of angels, but the reality is their hypocrisy is becoming so evident to so many countries that have been bullied. It's sad to watch such a great nation now in control of State Department and public servant cronies in DC, getting themselves way out of depth into so many areas. I noticed one of their senators came out and said, "What the hell are we doing involved in this war?" He wasn't as direct as he could have been to say, "Why did we provoke it?" One would hate to see the return of Trump, but obviously the way the Democrats are empowering the overly empowered State Department to act with no real wisdom is of grave concern. And the Republicans probably only need 1%. Unfortunately, in modern day America, the selection between the Republicans and the Democrats is mad or madder. But the Democrats are empowered by just giving way too much power to non-elect politicians and security forces, and God forbid the State Department, which is most unstately. It's worrying times, because I can't see now Russia and Ukraine, can't see this battle being confined to those borders, and Zelensky and a lot of others on neighbouring countries to Russia haven't learnt a lot through this process. Everyone's quick to condemn and blame Russia. Do you want to go and maybe have a quick drive through Ukraine, so you get your head out of the theoretical understanding of wars and go and see what they really look like and what they mean beyond the rhetoric and beyond the political agendas of the West. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Speaking of Russia and Ukraine's borders, authorities in Moldova's breakaway region said that the alleged Ukrainian attack that they revealed recently, it sought to target its leadership and a delegation of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Now, this comes amidst the rising tensions between the West and Russia over Moldova.
Well, there you go. I mean, now Moldova's getting dragged into it. Romania's not looking too pretty. Fundamentally, if you stoke a dragon, you can't be surprised when it breathes fire down your throat. So pointing fingers, it's all very convenient to forget Minsk agreements and everybody's actions since 2014. It seems everybody analysing this has got one eye, and unfortunately nobody wants peace, particularly the Western nations don't want peace. They want to keep using NATO to create wars in the name of peace. Go figure. I'm just a dumb, busted-ass farmer, apparently. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. That's the brief for today. Anything else?
Excellent. Hang around.
Yeah.
No. Cheers.